Okay, good morning students. Today we are continuing with the second part of the lesson number 2 from civics, that is secularism in India. So in the first part we have learned about the idea of a secularism and what is the meaning of a secularism it is there and what type of secularism it is there in our country. So in that point we have completed the 3 points. Okay, now the next point. India does not support any religion. India never support any particular religion. It always keep distance from all religious matters and sects. So intentionally it is done by the government because it is particularly mentioned in the constitution. Such provisions are done by the constitution makers. In government offices or institute, religious festivals or practices are not allowed. So this is also very important because in the government offices, so many religious people are working together. So because of that only, any religious festival or a practice, it is not allowed in the government institutes or the offices. Then we have adopted non-interference policy for promoting secularism in our country. So this is very important. Non-interference policy. So what is that non-interference policy? This means that government respects the beliefs of all religious communities and never interfere in their customs, practices and rituals. So this is what done by the government. Means they respect the beliefs of all religious communities and they never interfere with their any custom, practice or ritual. But for preventing, so this is what the non-interference. Matlab, the government never interfere with any community. But for preventing the ill treatment of certain section of people by members of the same community. So this can be possible. The ill treatment can be given by a certain group of a people from the same community over the another same community people. So it follows the strategy of intervention. So in that case, the government intervenes. The government intervenes in it. Like, for example, the practice of casteism in Hindu society. So casteism, it is there in the Hindu society. So many people are belonging from the different caste. So in our constitution, it is strictly forbid to maintain equality. So there should not be any casteism in our country, and it is clearly mentioned in the constitution, and it is considered as a punishable act also. Then similarly, by making polygamy illegal. So what the interventions are done by the government, what the new laws are made according to the religion, that it is, we can say that examples are by making polygamy illegal. Polygamy means what? Married more than one, with more than one wife. Then the abolishing child marriages. The child marriage system is completely eradicated or removed from the society with the help of a certain laws. Reforming temple administration. That is very important because the lower caste people or the people from a Dalit community were not allowed to enter in the temple previously, earlier. But the constitution makers made such provisions that there should not be the people from the Dalit community should not they should allow to enter in the temple freely. Okay, so in this the state intervene in the religious matter. So these are the examples. The state also intervened by giving support to the religious organizations. So that is also very important that some religious organizations are supported by the government for establishing educational institutions. So for a good purpose, the intervention it is there. Then the last point of the lesson we can say, that is the Indian secularism and other democratic countries. So we are comparing here between the secularism in India and the secularism in the other democratic country. So particular objectives of secularism in Indian constitution can be seen in other democratic countries as well. Means whatever the secularism we are following in our country, the same secularism you can see in the other democratic countries as well. Like for example, America. America also accepted secularism. No religion can get the special treatment there. So they are also treated every religion on an equal base. They never pass any law that restricts the freedom of religion. So they also not passed any law for over the restriction of the freedom of religion on the citizen. The state and religions never interfere to each other's affairs. So they also kept separate that both the state and the religion from each other. The Indian government intervenes. Means sometimes there is an intervention by the Indian government in the religious affairs for the protection of the rights of the weaker sections of society. So this is what purposely or intentionally done by the government, only for the protection of the weaker sections of the society. This type of intervention is done by the government of India. But in the USA Constitution, means in the Constitution of America, that you will find that it does not allow either the state or religion to intervene each other's affair. Okay, means the American government never interfere with the religious affairs of the country, or the religious communities never interfere with the state affairs. So this is the most evident distinction between the constitution of the two biggest democracies in the world. So this is what only the difference. So this is how we have completed the lesson, the second lesson, secularism in India. Thank you.